Okay, so this is definitely something that needs to be shared. Just after, in Galatians 2, just after Paul is accepted by the apostles because he's not giving in to the people around him. He's being very truthful and very blunt and sure and not bending to false brothers that had infiltrated our ranks to spy on the freedom we have in Christ. We did not give in to them for a moment so that the truth of the gospel might remain with you. So Paul was accepted by the apostles because he's taking a stand. He's living truthfully the way Jesus was telling them to. So they're like, okay, cool, you're on the right page, you can join us in our ranks, go into the world, teach other people about the gospel the way it is, because there's only one gospel and it's got to be spoken correctly. So Peter, Paul is calling Peter out, and what I'm getting from this is the fact that we need to hold each other accountable within the faith, because when we see our brothers and sisters in Christ sliding per se, like we if we live in the same space as the people around us, not everyone we know is going to be sold out followers of Christ or even Christians or believe the same things we do. But this is a call, Paul calling out Peter publicly, saying, hey dude, you're backsliding, you're going into the wrong crowd, you need to get back on track. So you need to hear this. So I'm going to speak this out to you guys because it's very, very important that we remember to keep each other accountable when it comes to our faith. Paul opposes Peter. This is Galatians 2, 11 through 21. When Peter came to Antioch, I opposed him to his face because he was clearly in the wrong. Before certain men came from James, he used to eat with the Gentiles, but when they arrived, he began to draw back and separate himself from the Gentiles because he was afraid of those who belonged to the circumcision group. The other Jews joined him in his hypocrisy, so that by their hypocrisy even Barnabas was led astray. See, this is a problem within the church. We are called to uphold the gospel and speak the gospel and live by the gospel, and people watch us, people see us. We think, it's, no one cares what I do, blah blah blah, I can do it, whatever. But people do watch us and are wanting to live correctly, especially like baby Christians. If they're like new to the faith and stuff like that, we have to be careful to consistently live by the gospel, because when we start sliding away, when we start doing things we shouldn't, other people follow. They will follow. So by their hypocrisy, even Barnabas was led astray. Don't cause your brother to stumble into what you're having trouble with. When I saw that they were not acting in line with the truth of the gospel, I said to Peter in front of them all, you are a Jew, yet you live like a Gentile, not like a Jew. How is it then that you force Gentiles to follow Jewish customs? So you're telling other people to do what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not doing it. Who are Jews by birth and not we are Jews by birth and not Gentile sinners. Know that a man is not justified by observing the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. So we too have put our faith in Christ Jesus, that we may be justified by faith in Christ, and not by observing the law. Because by observing the law, no one will be justified. If, while we seek to be justified in Christ, it becomes evident that we ourselves are sinners, does that mean Christ promotes sin? Absolutely not. If I rebuild what I destroyed, I prove that I am a lawbreaker. For through the law I died to the law so that I might live for God. I have been crucified with Christ. I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. We must live by faith, not by written laws. We must live by faith in Christ and who he is and what he did. And we must consistently live by faith, because when we backslide, when we let ourselves just go by the wayside, when we are not living the way that we speak, practice what you preach, other people will see that and think it's okay, be like, oh, they're Christians, they live holy lives, but they sin, so it must be okay. It's not okay. So keep each other accountable. Bring your Christian brother back to living by faith, and don't allow yourself to go wherever the heck you feel like it, because that's not living for Christ.